Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about goals. So I'm going to tell you how my February goals went and discuss what I'm setting my sights on for March. Before we get started, I thought I would explain what goals are because according to my husband, I did not do a very good job of that last month in my February video. So let me take a moment and try and explain it one more time. For me, a goal is a desired outcome, identifying what that looks like, and pursuing that outcome. I realize that may not have clarified anything, so let me try and give you some examples. I really need to get healthier. I wish I had time to finish that craft project. Maybe someday my house will be tidy. These things are really just offhanded comments. They're abstract ideas that recognize that there's room for improvement, but it's not a set of instructions on how to get there or even where there is. Let's take the example of wanting to get healthier. As I mentioned in my February goals video, I seem to think that this meant I needed to spend 2 hours every day at the gym, or I needed to follow a very strict meal plan, neither of which am I mentally prepared to handle right now. Instead, I realized that there is a lot of middle ground between going all in on a diet or an exercise plan, especially an extreme one, and doing absolutely nothing. So instead, I made a list of the things that I saw healthy people doing. They were drinking plenty of water, they were eating their vegetables, they were getting regular, consistent exercise. They were going in to see their doctor for well visits and having routine tests performed. You get the idea. I could go on and on with this. I identified what I saw healthy people doing and started applying those same actions to my own life by visiting my doctor, having all my routine tests done, eating more vegetables, drinking more water. You get the idea. We don't need to keep going on and on with this. Hopefully, though, that gives you a better idea of what goals are. It's identifying somewhere that you want to be, figuring out what definitions or what actions apply to whatever this desired outcome is, and then what steps are you willing to take, or what steps can you take to get to that desired outcome. So hopefully this makes a little bit more sense than the definition that I provided last month, but if it doesn't, I'm sure my husband will go ahead and drag me in the comments. Yeah, honey, I'm looking at you. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about February's goal and how that played out. To recap, I set out to get 5 to 10 minutes of exercise 5 or more times a week. This was mainly to establish the habit of getting some exercise regularly. Let's take a look at the mediocre footage. So today is Tuesday, February 1st. That means it is the first day of my monthly challenge that I gave myself, and I'm about to step outside and take a walk. So yeah, here I am, I'm doing it. Yay! On the second, I had a little more trouble getting into the routine. Okay, so here we are, day 2, and I don't know if you can see what's going on out here. It just started raining. I've never been somebody who enjoys walking in the rain, especially when it is a little chilly today. I'm getting started around a half hour, 40 minutes later than I wanted, but I've been procrastinating on this. I was using the excuse that it's laundry day, like, oh no, I need to stay around and switch the laundry from one machine to the next. I also just found out that this means that like ice and snow is coming, and they're canceling school for the next 2 days because of that. I'm not thrilled about that either, so I'm really hoping that a little bit of exercise will help me kind of clear my head and help me just process that. I wasn't planning on the kids being home. I've got stuff I need to get done, and it's always harder to do when they're home. Looks like I'm doing an indoor workout today. Later that day, the rain that started in the early afternoon ended up turning into freezing rain and then eventually snow and all the garbage they had predicted. All was not lost because I was able to follow a quick workout video and get my exercise for the day. The next 2 days were absolute duds because I just could not make myself get any exercise when everyone was home. On Saturday the 5th, things started to warm up a little bit outside, and I decided to try and shovel the snow. that was on the driveway and the walkway leading up to our front door. After a few minutes, I realized this isn't snow, this is ice. So I chipped away at the ice, and eventually the husband came out. All told, we were out there for about 45 minutes trying to chop and break up all the ice. And because that really got my heart racing, I decided, you know what, that counts as activity. It was cardio. It counts. Unfortunately, after spending time outside in that cool, chilly air, my sinuses decided to attack, and I ended up with a sinus infection that had me out of commission for a couple of days. After a couple of days of rest, though, I was feeling motivated to get back in the routine and get back at it. And so rather than bore you with a lot of the details, I'll just go ahead and show you on my calendar how the month played out. Everywhere you see a pink check mark on my calendar indicates a day that I got some exercise in. As you can see, the first couple weeks in February, it was a little slow going. Now, out of the 28 days in February, I exercised 15 of those days. This ended up being about 3 to 4 times per week, which of course was not the 5 days that I was aiming for, but I still don't consider this a failure. I'm choosing to see this as progress because I still got some activity and I started to develop the habit of getting regular activity. Doing all of this helped me learn some things about myself as well. First, I learned that I was a bit ambitious with this challenge because I didn't really take in consideration that February is generally when we tend to have more weather-related school cancellations. I certainly did not plan for sick days. I also find it challenging to exercise for consecutive days or like more than 2 days in a row. I don't know why. Please know that I am not beating myself up over this. I'm simply acknowledging these things so that I can plan a little bit better in the future. Second, while I love walking and think that it's a great activity, it's important for me to consider some variety to accommodate weather conditions and changes in the weather. To help me with this, I made a list of activities that I enjoy doing, and none of them require me to purchase any additional equipment than we already own. A couple of them do benefit from having some workout videos to accompany them, things like yoga or more of like a dance aerobic type of thing. But I've actually never been a very big fan of workout videos. In my defense, I haven't spent much time looking for them either. This information helps me to pair activities that I like and narrow down the types of videos I'm most likely to follow. Finally, I am definitely going to keep exercising and using all the stuff that I just mentioned. I'm going to aim for 3 to 4 times a week, continue to track my activity in my calendar, and slowly integrate some variety. Now on to my goals for March. I've decided it's time to start decorating my house, starting with my 3 kids' bedrooms. To be clear, 1 month is not enough time to actually decorate their rooms and maintain my regular responsibilities. I can, however, figure out what I want to do in these rooms. But first, a little backstory. I've always loved the creative process of decorating a room, but I may have never been very good with the execution of designing a room. In the past, my design approach has been like a bunch of ideas and impulse purchasing a bunch of decor items and wanting to integrate a bunch of DIY projects, not really having any list, any plan, any pictures in place for what I want the end result to look like. This left me feeling like the rooms were never complete, and I didn't like that. Again, I'm not trying to beat myself up over this, but I am acknowledging that the way that I did things in the past didn't yield the results I was seeking. At this point, I am ready to take a new approach and try and get better results. So I am committed to spending the month of March doing what I neglected to do in the past and create a design plan for these rooms. That's it. Just the plans. I'm going to put all of my design ideas together in a vision board. If you're not familiar, a vision board is a place where you bring all of your ideas and design concepts in one place, and that way you have reference points for what you're trying to accomplish in the room. Now, this can be in a physical form. This can be actual pictures that have been cut and pasted onto poster board. Or they now have a lot of really great apps available so that you can do this all virtually. I'm going to explore and try a little bit of everything because I want to see which way works best for me. But that's it, just the plans. We're just planning. So I hope you can join me next month and we can talk about the plans that I created and look forward to the month of March to see what goals I have in store for then. If you don't want to miss it though, you got to do the things. And that way you'll be notified every time I upload new content. That is all for today. I thank you so much for spending time with me, and I hope to see you in my next video.